For more than a century, football clubs have been at the heart of communities around the world, with the inherent passion and camaraderie and the wins and losses all adding up to a sense of togetherness. One of the most fascinating projects in European football currently lies on the shore of Lake Como. A local community-led project aiming to build not only the town's footballing prowess, but to be a key voice in the region's growth, sustainability, and future. Como 1907 has had 2 promotions in 2 years, boasts a revamped academy system, and is eyeing up Italy's top division as a not-so-distant dream. To talk about the club's goals and on and off the pitch, please welcome to center stage a representative of Como 1907's ownership group, Mirwan Suwarso, David Ornstein from The Athletic, and Spanish footballing icon Cesc Fàbregas.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. We should probably get straight into it, because we've had some breaking news in the last 24 hours. The man responsible for it is here. The recipient of it is here. Como 1907 have had a change in manager, and Cesc Fàbregas is the interim boss now. So we'll be hearing from him for the first time, but maybe a congratulations first is in order from our audience.
Thank you. Thank you.
Without further ado, Cesc, how do you feel about your new position?
No, I feel great. I feel ready. Obviously, something that happened very quickly in the last couple of days. Lots of respect, obviously, for the manager that was in charge for the last year and a half. And yeah, new challenge for me. I'm used to it, to the pressure. To the requirements that the club wants, and just looking forward to it. Very, very exciting times.
It's my job to ask the tough questions. Mirwan, your team, since taking over the club as the ownership in 2019, have had back-to-back promotions in the playoff places to get promoted to Serie A, 3rd consecutive season. You won on Saturday, yet you changed your manager. Why?
Well, football is kind of like a game which is full of opinions. So we had to rely on one thing, which is not opinions, which is basically data. And as we're closing into the transfer window period, we saw that the data showed there were some things that needed to be fixed. We were actually regressing in terms of performance. And rather than us investing significantly during the window on the wrong boat, we better fix it. So that's why we pulled the trigger yesterday.
And Como is known for almost Hollywood celebrity. There was a quote from their president, Dennis Wise, the former Chelsea player, saying, "Everybody knows George Clooney's got a place in Como. I think a lot of people never even knew that a football club was here." And I think in your statement yesterday, you talked about providing more excitement and entertainment for the fans of Como and beyond. Is that not only part of this decision to appoint Cesc, but also the wider project as a whole?
For sure. I mean, I think we're the only Serie B club that owns our own TV rights in America, in the UK, and so on in Southeast Asia. So in order for us to gain, I mean, Como is only 85,000 people. We can't grow beyond that space if you want to grow as a club, as a global brand. So what we put on the field have to be as exciting as what we try to build off the field.
Cesc, you had an incredible playing career with Arsenal, Chelsea, Barcelona, the Spanish national team. You won pretty much everything there was to win as a player. You then finished your career at Como. You retired and became the coach of the Primavera, the youth and reserve team. I think many people here today would want to know, why are you at Como?
Well, for many reasons. I think, first of all, there is fantastic people running the football club. Everyone about is about the project, is committed. There's very, very competent people. The staff is great. I think the players know exactly what this shirt means. Everyone plays for the badge. And I think I fell in love with the project straight away when I first heard about it. And since then, I never looked back. We looked at the future, what we can improve. I finished my career there, which made me proud. And obviously, I had in mind also other things like being a manager that I wanted to start my career there. And hopefully, everything is going really well, smoothly. I'm learning every single day new things, and hopefully just trying to help slowly to move the club forward and where we think it can be in the future. We have a good vision and a very, let's say, exciting one.
Those of you who have followed this project in its infancy will know that Cesc is not only, well, first a player, now interim manager, but also an investor in the club, as is another very famous former footballer, Thierry Henry. Cesc, tell us about that. Why did you want to take your commitment, your involvement in the club even further?
Well, I think the beauty of the project, really, the people involved, as I just mentioned, was super important. When I didn't have, let's say, a club last year, I was talking to a lot of people, and it made me realize that football is sometimes in danger. And finally, I found a proper project with football people that they want to grow in the proper manner, in the right way, that they believe in things that are very, very important, like commitment, like making the people in Como also very, very comfortable in what they're trying to do. They're very serious, and I think the investment that they are doing, it shows for itself. So for me, being part of it, it's just great, and I cannot wait to keep growing.
Yeah, the ambition is extraordinary. It's not just how far they've come, but by 2025, I think the club would like to have new training ground, new stadium, and be playing in Serie A, the top division within Italian football. Mirwan, from the ownership's point of view, the Jarum Group, who are one of the biggest companies in Indonesia, what is the ambition here? What are you trying to do that is different from many other clubs and ownerships in world football?
Well, when we stumbled upon the football club in Como, we realized there's huge opportunity because there aren't many cities in the world which is on like a destination for tourism, but at the same time, there's nothing else around it, right? So to build a business in there, our goal is to create kind of like the ultimate soccer tourism destination in the world. And Lake Como is the perfect setting for it. And it shows. We've been growing extensively. We started with, I think, not even an official store. We now have 350 touch points across the cities that sells our merchandise. We just bought a brewery a few months ago that named it our own our brand, like La Comasca, which is the Como brand. We are building an international school over there that specializes in football and data division analysis and football marketing, so to speak. We try to become a part of the city, but at the same time, we want to use the city as a hub for people who are interested in football to actually go to.
When you do research on Como, some of the community work that they're getting involved in is quite extraordinary. Cesc, was that important to you to go beyond just the football pitch, not even just the investment, but the sort of things that are happening within the local area?
Yes, because there is a human side on it, and I remember when I first joined the club, talking to Mirwan, they made a comment of how important this would be, the community for the people. This club was bankrupt twice in the last 20 years, so we can understand that the fans, the people around the club, they feel a little bit unsafe. But we are trying to build it in the right way, in the right manner, with a human side, as we're saying, and that's why this is super important for people to see that we care. We care, and the owners, I think, Mirwan can say it clearer and louder than that's one of the most priority things for them to make the fans and the people of Como understand that they do care a lot.
there are novel ideas like the club is going to try not to bring out a different home shirt every single season and is investing money in local hospitals and community initiatives. But also, on top of that, there's a bit of glamour and modern edge tech as well in terms of what's happening with you. There's a fly-on-the-wall documentary going on. They're following your season in charge, which was meant to be as a youth and reserve team coach, and now sees you step up to the first team. So that's a bit of a different experience for you too.
Yeah, 100%. Life is about experiences, it's about challenges, it's about performing at the highest level, and this is what I was born to do. Since the age of 9 years old, I was in the Barcelona Academy, and every year was a challenge that if you don't play well, you will be out. So since then, I live under pressure all my life, and you know, I like to race to the challenge. Whatever comes, you know, you just need to face it with positivity and confidence, and that's how I am. Very positive, very confident guy. I like to be surrounded by good people, hardworking people, humble people, and I found this at Como, so that's why I'm so comfortable.
There was a bit of an accident involved at the beginning when I think the ownership would have liked to have placed quite a lot of young Indonesian players in Europe to develop their skills and produce better Indonesian players before completing the takeover and realizing under the Italian football rules outside of the top division, you're not allowed to do that. So the project became focused on football success for the here and now, the community. Could you give everybody an insight of genuinely how ambitious this club is? Do you want to disrupt Serie A, the likes of AC Milan, Juventus? Do you want to build the infrastructure to become some of the best in Europe? Because the ownership of Como is one of the wealthiest companies in the world.
No, man, we don't have crazy dreams like that. We're pretty chilled. We want to be in Serie A. We want to create a sustainable soccer tourism industry business for us. But the club's got to be good. The club's got to be producing young players from the Como area. And we hope we would be bringing something new there. I mean, we're using Como as a lot of experimentation of some of the businesses we do in Indonesia and vice versa. We have like 200, we manage 276 brands in our home country. 3 of them are technology-based, so we're experimenting a lot of things from what we've done in Indo to bring it over to Italy and Europe. And it could be a gateway to the world for us, for some of our businesses, and vice versa. A lot of companies are starting to approach us because they know we have 200 million customers at home. I mean, between our businesses, we have Indonesia's largest bank. We have Indonesia's largest e-commerce business. We have Indonesia's largest, or Southeast Asia's largest ticketing business. And we have, like I said, 276 consumer brands. So a lot of companies now come to work with us in Como because they want us to help them to have an entry point into the Indonesian market. So yeah, it's a perfect hub.
And outwardly facing at Como, you've got one of the biggest stars in modern world football. And so do you see his role now as just being interim and you will look to make a permanent appointment, or does Cesc have the chance to become permanent head coach manager of Como?
I think that's all up to Cesc, right? I think we've been very honest from the beginning. He was saying, as he's working on his coaching qualifications, he can take in an interim position. Hopefully he can help us get through, navigate this water for now. But when the opportunity arises, I do believe, we really hope that Cesc will find a home in Como for the long term.
Would you like that, Cesc? Would you like to take control of this team permanently, finishing your coaching badges, of course, at the same time, and leading the club forward, potentially into Serie A, and mixing it with some of the best coaches in world football?
Well, obviously, now it is one of the main objectives, 100%. Whatever my role is, I will always give my best. Yes, when I did join the club, one of the main objectives was that one day I could become coach of Como 1907. I didn't expect it to be that soon because I retired a little bit earlier than what I should have. I should have still been playing this year. But yeah, it's an opportunity. As I said, and Mirwan knows very well, for me this is a long-term project. I'm not here for 2 days, for 2 months. Hopefully, is a long thing. I trust the club. I trust the people. I'm very comfortable. My family are happy, and we found happiness in Como. And hopefully, it's a long-term project. Yes.
I think that's really interesting. Many people might hear you speak and or see this news and think it's a stepping stone for Cesc Fàbregas towards a job in a higher division or a different country or back in England in the Premier League, where many of us know you so well. Is that an ultimate goal of yours, even though your focus is on Como for now?
Whatever I do in life, I want to be the best. That's always my objective. This is my mentality. And but I don't like to look too much ahead. I like to perform where I am, and at the moment I am here. I'm ready to give my life and my everything, my day to day to this football club, to the people, and that's it. That's all that matters. When you start thinking too much ahead, normally things don't work out the way you want. I've experienced that before also on my playing time. So just focus on what you have to do today, perform today, and what you do good today will come back to you tomorrow.
We remember you as a youth prodigy coming through in England and making a really successful career, and you were renowned as one of the top players. Did you always have your eye on management, and do you think you can be as successful a coach, manager, as you were a player?
Time will tell. As I said before, my mentality will always try to get the best out of me, but it's true that I didn't really focus about being a manager until maybe the confinement. I've been very lucky to have a really good career with important clubs, and we were playing always Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, so I never really had time to actually sit down and think what I want to do. Sometimes as a player, when you are at your peak, you think you are invincible, you think it will last forever, but it doesn't. It passes actually very, very quickly, and it hit me, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that, okay, maybe it's time to start thinking about what I want to do in the future. Confinement gave me the time and the platform to start having a lot of meetings, getting, interested about certain things that I never thought before. And yeah, I have now the chance to talk with the people of the club to see how we want to grow and bring all my experience in it as well.
Managers talk about how management makes them grow old quite quickly because you don't really appreciate the stresses and strains until you're involved in it. Now you're on the other side of the fence from being a player. Has it been a bit of a shock, some of the hours that you have to put in, the issues that you have to deal with, and the commitment you have to show?
Well, since yesterday, I grew up like 10 white hairs already. But no, a joke, it is a joke. But honestly speaking, I love it. I do it with so much passion. The last couple of years of my career, I had lost something inside of me, and coaching has brought all these feelings back that I thought I had lost. And I'm a ball of fire at the moment. I'm full of passion and really excited to see what's next.
Mirwan, this project is in its early days, but we see so much now in world football, multi-club groups. Do you have ambition to go on and build, and is Como the start of that, or is Como the end you've got enough to focus on right now?
Como is the end, man. No. We don't have that kind of appetite. We like to build something and then keep it for a long time. I think our ownership has never closed any of their businesses. They've never been, any of the businesses have never gone bankrupt. And they see Como as one of their exciting projects. I mean, we have a hotel division that's already eyeing Como. We have our digital ticketing system division's already saying that they'll take over our ticketing system. So yeah, I think all the group's tentacles will be in full force holding them to the club.
And what does Cesc and Thierry Henry in particular, and you've made some good signings as well, but they're the two kind of headline acts, done for the club, for the group? What do you see in them? How important are they to the project?
I think the first thing when Cesc said he was going to come, it was just like it was very important for us. It's like a justification that, you know, we're Indonesians, we know nothing about European football. But when someone like Cesc says, we believe in you, that says a lot to us. And then from there, we kind of like accepted the baton and just kind of like, we're going to go for it. And when Thierry came over, it's the same thing. It's almost like a vote of confidence for us to actually keep growing and keep investing into the project.
Yeah. Cesc, you must look back to the Premier League and watch your former clubs, Chelsea and Arsenal. What do you make of what's happening there at the moment?
Well, it's exciting for both clubs. I think Chelsea are growing. They invested in youth, and they are hoping, that the results will come. Maybe not this year, but in a couple of years. Definitely, it's an interesting one because normally Chelsea were always investing to get results immediately. Now they look for the future, so it will take some more time. Also for the fans to be a little bit patient. And Arsenal did a little bit of the same. Sometimes we speak about it with Mirwan, what they did with Mikel Arteta. Not all the clubs would have done. You're an Arsenal fan yourself, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But finishing 8th, 3 seasons in a row at Arsenal, it was hard to take. But obviously they saw something in him. They kept going, they keep believing, and the results are paying off today. And it's happy to see. I'm happy to see this type of things because nowadays in football, we can see some decisions that you say, why? And Arsenal is the perfect club, to look at how you believe in a project, you believe in a person, you go for it, and it ends up, being the right choice.
Do you therefore take some inspiration from what Arsenal have done with Mikel Arteta, giving a young coach the chance very early on their journey in your own career?
Well, that's not really for me to decide. This is more for the boss to decide. But yes, I think we believe in youth, not only on the coaching side, staff, which, yes, I like to be surrounded by young energy, new ideas. Also what the club is doing with Mirwan around the club with the data and the analytics, which will be super important for us, but also for the players. We're looking for good young players. We want to build something special with them as well. And it will take some time because, young players need to develop. Sometimes they play great, sometimes they have a dip. You have to be a little bit patient. I mean, Arsene Wenger, for example, was great with me because when I was playing bad, he was still playing me and kept believing. But yeah, the idea is for the whole club to keep growing this way, yeah.
But do you take inspiration from an Arteta, the way he's come through, and also others that you've worked for, such as a Guardiola, a Mourinho, a Wenger?
Yeah, definitely. I was all last year at the Arsenal training ground taking my A license, my badges. I spoke to Mikel. He actually congratulated me yesterday. We had a little chat. So for me, 100%, he's one of the clubs. He's one of the coaches that I look up to. I told him yesterday I keep taking some ideas from you. But yeah, definitely he's someone I will look up to, yeah.
What do you think, Mirwan, is Cesc's potential in management? And did you look at what Arsenal did with Arteta, and did that give you some belief that you could hand him this role, albeit on an interim basis?
I think it started with a lot of conversations, just, casual conversation with Cesc. And Cesc is very humble. He explains everything in a very basic format to us. And we can see he's very intelligent. We know he's thinking well ahead about what to do with the first team, youth team, and beyond, even the future for the club. So it was a no-brainer. It was very easy for us to actually say, Cesc, take the helm.
And I think we'll finish by asking Cesc what everybody's probably thinking the same as me. What did Mikel Arteta say to you? Could you give us a bit of insight into the words of wisdom you exchanged yesterday?
No, it's not very interesting. Just a good luck message that whatever I need, he's there, and that he will keep an eye on how we perform.
Just don't come for his job too soon.
No, don't worry, you're safe. I'm happy where I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. We've hit the limit. I guess I'll just ask you, Mirwan, one more question. Where do you see Como, Cesc Fàbregas in the next 5 years, for example, the years ahead?
Champions League.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Cesc?
It's one of the objectives of the club. We dream big, we are ambitious, And I think we are in the right path. We are in the right way. We have the right mentality, the right people looking at the right things. And it's now about creating a culture around the training ground. From tomorrow, this is what I will try to do with my own ideas, surrounded by, again, good people, competent people, and dream big, and then you can make it.
Como, from bankruptcy to the Champions League, you heard it here first. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us, and especially our guests.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.